We didn't get a chance to talk to you after that first day of pads. Kind of saw that you were lined up against Max Crosby. Felt like it was one of those welcome to the NFL moments. Was that kind of?
It was. It was, yeah. First day of pads, my technique was all over the place. I haven't been hitting in 4, 5, 6 months, and he showed it, and I got embarrassed. And I think that was definitely my welcome to the NFL moment. From there, I'm just trying to get better, trying to learn from it. I've gotten extremely better just going against Max in practice every single day. He's bringing it. I'm trying to bring it as much as I can, and I know it's going to help me this season and in the long run.
Was there an appreciation for, I know that it's tough to go through that, but was there an appreciation for it afterwards, and did you guys talk about it?
No, we didn't talk about it. I hope there's an appreciation on his end. There is on mine for sure. He's making me better every single day I'm out there.
You got drafted. You talked about going into your last year at Notre Dame. You really wanted to emphasize improving as a blocker. How's that kind of carried over to the NFL, adjusting to bigger, stronger?
Yeah, I'm learning every day. I'm learning a lot. It's different. It's definitely different. That's probably the biggest thing I've noticed coming from college to the NFL now. The blocking technique that you got to have. I'm learning it every day. I'm improving at it every day, and there's a lot I need to get better at in terms of that too. So that's one of my main focuses right now for sure.
Like when people talk about you, they use the word teachable. A lot of guys get drafted high. That's not the case. Where does that come from? Have you always been that way? Where's that?
I think I grew up that way, and I think it's the way I was raised. And I think I was also born that way a little bit. That's just kind of it's instilled into me, if you know what I mean. And so coming to the football field every day since I was 3, 4, 5 years old, it's always been kind of what can I get better at? What can I learn from? What is the coach? What is the teacher? What are they trying to say to me right now? And Coach Jerry's done a great job with that. Coach Lombardi and Coach McDaniels have all been there really helping me improve, helping me get the offense down. That's another whole section category that we could talk about is me really trying to get this offense down and play as confident as I can out there. And so we're getting there.
Right, well, it seems like you've hit the ground running as a receiver, and I know you said that's something that comes more naturally to you. What do you think makes you a tough cover out there?
I think I use my big body very well. I can get into guys. I can burst off of guys. I can understand their movements. I can understand, is he going to have outside leverage here, inside leverage? What do I need to do? Where do I need to stem? Things like that. And I could do that very well in college because of how much I knew the offense and how much I was – after the first year of starting there, my freshman year, I kind of knew everything the next 2 years. So I could really do what I wanted to do in my route game and really understand concepts and things like that. So I'm trying to get that down here as much as I can too.
When it comes to the blocking end of it, still learning the offense, and then as a tight end, you're blocking everyone from defensive tackles, defensive ends, cornerback, safeties, whatever the case might be. The thought process that you have to do pre-snap and then deal with whoever you have to deal with, is that a challenge, and do you feel like you're getting better at it?
100%. 100%. It's been a challenge since the first day of camp. That's something I'm going into practice every single day, trying to get better at. Trying not to think so much, trying to learn from my mistakes. Because really the last thing I want to do is go out on the line and have to think so much to where I'm playing slower than I usually play. And so I'm trying to stay away from that as much as possible.
At Notre Dame, you were the big fish. The offense ran through you. Here, there's a bunch of stars. So you just have to contribute. How much does that make you better that you don't have to go carry the load? You've got a bunch of great players around you.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, it's just me coming to the facility every single day and trying to play the best ball I can play. Do whatever they're asking me to do, come in and improve as much as I can and things like that. And for me, everything will work out. And they know what I can do, and I know what I can do. So at the end of the day, it's about coming in here and trying to improve every day.
I know nothing comes easily, but you said the blocking technique's been one of the hardest things to adjust to, the biggest difference in the NFL. You talked about your history as a receiver. Has it been a little bit easier? Do you think you've picked up on the receiving end quicker, and why is that?
I wouldn't say I picked up on it quickly. I would say there's still a big learning gap in the blocking game and in the route game, coming to the league. With anybody, I feel like anybody would say that. But for me at least, in the offseason, being able to run routes like I want to run routes and have quarterbacks throw me the ball, it's a little bit easier than in the offseason, training for the combine, doing things like that, doing a bunch of blocking stuff. So therefore, I was getting way more work with quarterbacks and route running before the combine and after the combine before I got here for camping in the spring. So it just came a little bit more naturally.
Now that you've had some time in this offense, what are the things that you like about it in terms of how it uses the tight end?
We do a lot of stuff. We got to know a lot of stuff. We do a lot of stuff. all 11 guys are dependent upon each other, so everybody has to know what they're doing. If one person messes up, it can screw up the entire play, and that starts with the quarterback, and it goes all the way down. So I got to really know what I need to do. Every other tight end in the room needs to know what they need to do, and that's kind of why I love this offense. It's very dependent upon everybody, so everybody has to know what they're doing.
Got a chance to play on Saturday, started the game, blocked a little bit, caught a pass. What was your experience like? How did you come out of that game?
It was good. It was good to get the first one under the belt for sure. I had a lot of fun. They were a great team. It was fun to be out there with Jimmy on that first series. But like I've been saying, I got my first little action in under me, but at this point it's keep improving, trying to get as better as I can and learn the playbook as much as I can and things like that.
On the back end of that, even though it was just a preseason game, was there any nerves going in, and then you felt like once you made that catch, you kind of got settled a little bit?
I think after the first play, I'll always settle in pretty well. That's what I've always told people. I got nerves for every game. That's just kind of how it is. I care about playing well. I care about the game of football. I want to do well for my team and my coaches. So I always got nerves going to games, and even probably coming into practice, I got some nerves. So once I get out there, get that first play, second play under my belt, I'm kind of just out there playing ball, doing what I've been doing my whole life.
Michael, Josh has a lot in the playbook to start, but he's one of the few coaches in the NFL that adds voluminous amount week to week. How important is it, especially as a rookie, to have that down going into the season?
It's huge. It's huge. Because you're not going to play if you don't have it down. You know what I mean? So you got to have it down. They're gonna demand that you have it down, and I'm in the process of that right now, and I'm going to get it down. I can tell you that.
You have a cool family history of three guys getting drafted in different sports. Are you close with your cousin? And does your granddad have any stories growing up about you?
I am, yeah. So we grew up like 10 minutes outside of Cincinnati. And my cousin, Luke Maley, he actually plays for the Reds right now, which is something that's really, really special. He was kind of that older brother. I got an older brother that's 2 years older than me, but my cousin Luke was like 10 years older than me. So he was the one that was really playing sports. I was going to all his high school sports when I was really young. And then he went on to play Kentucky. And we actually talk a lot. We text back and forth. He's kind of helped me out with being a rookie. What do you need to do? What does it take? Things like that. Because he was in my shoes at one point. I know it's different. He was in the minor leagues. But he's been helping me tremendously through that. And, I got a great family. I got great friends, great people at home that really help me out all the time, anytime I need it. My mom's great, so that's what it's been about for me. Improving as much as I can playing football while staying connected to my family and friends, to trying to kind of get me through camp and get the season rolling.
Michael, how difficult is it to learn all the verbiage of Josh's offense? I mean, it's one thing to learn a playbook; it's another one to learn all the verbiage. How difficult is that?
It's not easy. I mean, I'll just say that straight up. I know in college my offense was very, very simple. 1-2 word things. Here there's a lot more that goes into it. There's checks, there's alerts, there's things like that, reloads. And so it's just about repetition for me. Really repetition. If I fail at it, all right, cool, I'm going to go back and do it again until I get it. And that's kind of my mindset. That's my mentality as of right now. We got one more preseason game left, and so I'm really trying to wrap my mind around this offense and really get it down before the season starts.
Obviously, you're not the first Notre Dame great tight end to wear number 87 for the Raiders. I just want to know, how many conversations have you had with Dave Casper, and kind of what's been his advice, from the time you've been in college and now being with the Raiders?
Yeah, in the spring, when we had that alumni dinner when all the players came back, me and Dave sat by each other at the same table. We had conversations for hours about football, about life, about everything. Since he played, the game of football has evolved tremendously. So he was asking tons of questions on, why do you guys do this? Why do you do that? We did this back then. We did that back then, and that worked for us. So we were kind of walking through that. We were explaining to each other why we kind of do some of the things we do. But he's a great contact to have, and I'll be able to hit him up. And I know if he wants to talk, he'll be able to hit me up too.
Michael, when you have the amount of success that you had in college, obviously you're going to get a lot of attention. Going to the draft, there's talk of you maybe being the first tight end. When two guys get picked in front of you, is that something that motivates you? Are you going to measure yourself against them? I know you get to play both of them this year too.
No, it's not something that I think about every day, that I try to motivate myself. Look, I would come here and do the same thing if I was the fifth tight end taken or if I was the first. That's just kind of how I'm wired. That's how I am. I like to focus on myself, focus on what I can do to improve. That sort of thing is just kind of out of my control. That's not anything I put any thought to. Was I a little mad draft night? Maybe, but the next day I woke up, got drafted by a great organization, and now I'm here in a great offense with a great coach, and we're just trying to get better every day.
You said you and Max didn't talk after that first day of pads, but he shared some really high praise for you, so I'm guessing you got to know him a little bit. What's that relationship like? What's it been like getting to know him?
He's the biggest routine guy that I've ever met in my entire life, and I think that sets an example for me and the entire rookie class, and honestly the entire team. That dude, he's eating healthy every single day. I know I get in here early. He's in here early with me every single day. He's in here late with me every single day. That's somebody that you really want to follow. You want to be behind when he's leading because you know he's going to lead the right way and do the right things. So it's somebody that I've really tried to look upon what he's doing on his everyday routine and schedule and try to mimic, does this work for me? Does that work for me? But he's been great since the first day I got here. I remember the second I got drafted, he DM'd me and said, "Congratulations, man, let's go." I said hi to him the first day we were here, and it's been good. And we're going to have battles all season long, probably.
Have you been able to wrap your head around catching the ball from a Purdue guy, Aiden O'Connell? And what are your thoughts about your fellow rookie quarterback?
Yeah. First of all, we played Purdue at home 2 years ago. I think Aiden played a little bit that game, so we always joke about that because we beat him up pretty good. But he's been great. I've been very impressed with Aiden. His composure is something that I've never really seen before in a rookie that just got here. He's got great composure. He's got great control. When you're in the huddle with him, you can hear him clearly. You know what he's saying, and he's got that confidence in his voice and that confidence in his the way he's standing and being in the huddle. That we're gonna make this thing work. This is our play. This is what we're doing right here. Focus right now. Do the best on this play you can. And he doesn't panic. He could throw a pick. He doesn't panic. And that's what I love about him. That's what you really want out of a quarterback too.
All right, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.